Oh, shift. That's right. Oh, shift is what's happened here in the last few weeks. It's interesting what's going on with this market. And today was my coaching day. Today is Thursday, May 11th, 22. And it's interesting. We could literally watch it on the day that the Feds adjusted the rates that we saw an immediate change in the market. And whether it was a mental change of, that understanding that the market's going to be changing. But now we're getting a lot of the sky is falling and things like that. We're heading into a real shift here. We need to embrace the new reality that this shift is here and it is affecting our clients. So it came up a lot today. So I thought I'd address it a little bit in a quick call today. The market is fueled by many things, but the interest rates are leading the charge of what's going on. Utah today, I was talking to a client that the inventory went from days of inventory to almost 2 months of inventory just in the course of a 30-day period. And that's just because the market completely stopped and adjusted, right? So 25% changes in the market all in a 30-day period. That's like crazy talk. But the reality is it's happening. And so a lot of the first thing we saw in my coaching clients 4 weeks ago was immediately we saw about a 10% price reduction happening. And then now it's about a 15 or more % of the listings are price reducing. I believe we're going to see that continue. I believe we are in a shift that's going to be a prolonged shift. It happened very quickly, but it's also fueled by interest rate hikes too in 30 days, which is the highest rate we've seen now in 22 years. I've been in business 20 years. That's prior to my time. Most agents in reality have not even been through a bad market, a downturning recession market like we saw in 2007-8. And that lasted a couple of years. Prior to that, it was 92 to 99. We had a real tough 5 to 6, 7 years of real estate market. Prior to my time, I was a general contractor at the time. Got licensed right in the beginning of the recession. And, there's winters when winter sets in. And winter is coming, by the way. Winter is coming. There's opportunities in winter. We will go through agents because they always raise, 1.4 to 5 million agents through the raising of this incredible market we've seen. And now we'll see a purging of that, of non-renewals coming this year, and maybe in the tune of a couple 100,000 agents. That happens in these turns. But in my opinion, and I've been real estate broker and coach now for most of my career, 19 years. I've been coaching for 8 or 9 years full time. We're going to see the rates automatically take buyers out of the market. So that immediately creates inventory. But think about the perfect storm situation we have here. And this is not a doom and gloom call. This is not a doom and gloom. This is a shock and awe, because it's like, oh, shift is right. It's like, oh, shift. It happened like that. And it happened from a time we were getting 22 offers and 100,000 over asking price 30 days ago to where we are today, which is completely different language. And it's going to increase. So a 0.5% or a 50 base point increase changes about 10% of the market. Buyers fall out. So they lose the availability to borrow money. About 10% of the people with a 0.5 point. We've had 2, so we've lost 20% of those people. Now the market is condensed and still feverish. So that's why we're not seeing a lot of extended price reductions and all these things. The market's still trying to support the lack of inventory. They're going to do it again, which now takes rates into the mid 6s, approaching 7. I think rates could see to 7 to 8% by end of year. Maybe more, who knows, right? This is the worst inflation we've seen in 40 years. This is some of the worst statistics we've seen in labor, and all these other things are stacking. Ukraine war and all these other unsettled things in the world are not even part of the equation here, although they contribute. But if you look at these things from an economic standpoint, we're going to see increasing time on the market, increasing price reductions. All these things are leading and lagging indicators or trailing indicators of what we're going to see. So as we move forward through this, inventory will spike because now you have 20% less buyers. I know a lot of people that are just now sitting on the fence because there's just so much disruptive things going on. To the poor buyers that have been getting beat up for a couple of years, waiving everything, every contingency and appraisal gap contingencies, and giving away their firstborn kids, that's going to settle in, and you're going to actually be able to have a normal transaction as we progress into the 4 months of inventory and 6 months of inventory that I think we'll see soon, which changes it to a buyer's market. So you'll get back to a normal transaction where you can actually ask for a well inspection and a home inspection and without getting blasted out of the water. And definitely we'll see aggressiveness in the eyes of the buyer, right? So the seller, the challenge is you've got to take advantage of this top of the market window, because if you get, I don't want to say greedy, but if you just get where you're like risky and you're going for it, if you miss that envelope, you've got to jump past the market and get in front of it now. And honestly, I'm going to talk about the same kind of things in tips for pricing properties right now. Do not price properties higher than the comps. This is just one coach to you. But look at the comps, and your market should be following what the trend of the market is doing, meaning that if you have a 500,000 comp price, you might want to list it at 495, 490, 485, because you want to get in front of that market as the market's declining, which it's going to do and is doing in many markets. You got to be just in front of that, because if you price at market and it shifts just that tiny bit, you're out of market now. You've got to price reduce to get into there, and you never get that full effect again. So don't price higher than existing comps. Comp is historical, right? It went through the process and closed. A listing is understanding that the market's going to be a certain place in 30 or 45 days or 60. So when pricing a home, make sure the sellers are following the market. In an escalating market, it's okay to overprice that we've had for 2 years. You couldn't price them wrong. You literally 500, let's go 625. And then the thing gets an offer and you're like, okay, well, what is the ceiling? What is the market? What will it bear? Well, we found out 100,000 over asking price. I've been seeing a lot of TikToks and a lot of Insta posts and stuff, Facebook about, got 150,000 over asking price. That's great, but that's about you. That's the market, right? But quite honestly, it's okay to price those in this past market, but now it's imperative that we don't. We have to look at this, and the market is tipping and heading down, right? Market tipping, heading down. So if the comps establish 500 and the superheated market, we've seen 18% appreciations. Your job is now to instruct and educate the seller on what the market's going to be doing to get in front of that. And sellers want to price ahead of the market by setting the price under previous sales already in 4 weeks. So that's my suggestion. That's my tip for the day after coaching clients and talking about the economic headwinds and the change in the market and the shift headlines today. But the reality is, it's shift is right? And it happened as fast as anybody could have imagined. Matter of fact, I spoke at an event with 600 agents in Salem, April 4th. So it's only May 11th, April 4th or April 7th. So barely 5 weeks ago. And I was tragically wrong because nothing had changed at that point. There was hint of interest rates, but everything was still in the twos and it was amazing, low threes. It changed like that. So me being on stage talking about this 5 weeks ago to 600 people is wrong. That's how fast this market changed. My video production for that event's not even completely out yet. We only got some of the demo stuff. It takes about 3-4 weeks to get that stuff. So by the time we produce the event, videos, they're going to be out of date. It's so crazy what's happening. But mark my words, at least stay in touch with the market. Here's what my coaching nugget for you is today. Watch days on market. I'm sorry, watch how many months of inventory there is. It's called saturation analysis, right? How long would the market take to take those listings out of there? And effectively what it means is if you have 1 month of inventory, if no other listings came on the market in 1 month, all the inventory would be sold, right? Good, bad, ugly, two-story, one-story, it'd be all sold because that's what the buyer's demand is. If you have a week's inventory, that's unhealthy, right? A buyer's market starts around 4%, 6% is a square buyer's market. We're at 2 weeks still in most markets, creeping up very quickly. I think we'll see, these double-digit increases in that statistic going from 2 weeks to 4 weeks to 2 months to 3 months, just very incrementally over the next month or two. So, and then the second real powerful indicator to watch is price reductions. We've had 0 price reductions. It was a couple percent, but about 0 over the last 2 years, right? If you price reduced, you really missed the boat. Nothing personal, accurate. But now we're going to see, we saw 10% price reductions in the first week or two after that happened, almost immediately. Now we're seeing about 15% of the homes price reducing. That means that the sellers are starting to be notified by their agents that the market has changed. They're starting to see the indicators. They're not getting 100,000 over asking price. They're not getting any offers in the first week or two, which is crazy talk for the agents that have been in the business, right? I remember 18 months of inventory in 08. I remember 18, 20 months of inventory in 08 and working through that market. It's not going to be the same, but it is, winter is coming, right? So that's my piece, Coach Randy Byrd, just trying to help, just trying to add value. And there's a couple of things. Number one, I do a free coaching call. I'm not trying to get you in coaching. Coaching is full. I got a free coaching call we do every Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. You could shoot me a DM. I'll give it to you. You can go on my website. You'll find it with a link. It's birdhouse.live, and it's BYRDHOUSE.live. Birdhouse.live is, birdhouse.team is the website. And it has all of our trainings and stuff on it. But plug into those kind of things, whether it's mine or somebody else's. There's a lot of great coaches out there. And what it is I'm staying in touch with 20 industry leaders. I'm not the brilliant one. They're brilliant. I'm bringing back the information and gathering it all and seeing what needs to be worked per market. But plug in. At the turn of the market, it's all going to be outproduce your problems. It's going to be outproduce your problems. If you are on the easy train over the last couple of years, waiting for the phone to ring, that is a reactive business. It will not work. This new market, this shift, the shift, it is going to be, it's going to be defined by the agents that are the professionals. It's going to be defined by leading with prospecting and being enhanced by marketing. And that's just the way of the future, right? So get in front of it, go after it, tackle it. You got this. I'm really excited, but plug into some coaches, plug in. There's a lot of free stuff out there, a lot of great people. If you want to plug into ours, I'd love it. But lock arms with people that are like-minded and focused on getting out of this, the new market that we're heading to. All right. So anyway, have a great day. Stay hopeful, stay optimistic. There's winners and losers in every market. Winter is coming, but buy snowshoes, buy a big jacket, buy furry gloves, and make the most out of this new market because it's coming. Winter is here. All right. Have a great day. I appreciate you. It's Randy Byrd saying bye for now.